Hi all, today we'll study about loop or looping statements in Java. So what does loop statements in Java mean? Loop statements are used to execute a block of code repeatedly until a condition becomes false. For example, if I tell you in simple words, a loop helps us to repeat the same task multiple times without writing the same code again and again. For example, if you want to print hello 5 times and you don't want to every time use like without loop, what you will do, you'll write system.out.println like this, and inside braces you'll write in double quotes hello, and this you'll repeat 5 times. So you can do it, but what if you want to print it 100 times or 1000 times or 10,000 times? Then this is very lengthy and repetitive task, which is a bad practice. So to uh, get rid of writing so long code and getting a task done in few line of code for multiple printing, like for printing this 6 times, you can use these, like here we have printed it 5 times. So we'll start a loop from 1 to 5 and we'll increase that loop and we'll print the hello. It would be better if I'll show you in this VS code. Just give me a moment. I'll just open my code editor. Let's look at loops. Java, let's create this class. Now we'll create public class loops, then public static void main string arguments. Then what we'll be doing? We'll be creating a for loop for what is this int I equals to 0 is just initialization. I less than equal to from 5 from 0 we are starting, so we'll take it less than 5. This I plus plus, and then what we'll write system.out.println, and instead of I, what we have to print, we are printing hello. So we know the expected output is it will print hello. How many times it will print? It will print 5 times. Note these linting errors. They are because of errors in because of extension. So ignore that. See, first it will compile the program, then it will run the program, and you will be able to see the output. Here, see, you got hello how many times? You got hello 5 times printed. Now you don't need to get confused with this. What is this? I'll tell you everything. This is just a for loop, which I'll show you what all these things mean. So look at the screen. We have written for int I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. This was our first statement, right? So what is int here? Int is the data type. Okay. And what is this int I equals to 0? Here what we are doing? We are doing initialization, right? We have already studied about what is initialization and declaration. And what is this condition? That I should be less than less than 5. So what is this? This is condition. And what is this? This is increment. Or if you want to decrement, sometimes you can use I minus minus, or you have, if you want to increase it by 2, I plus equal to 2. So based on your code, what you are doing, you can have different increment, decrement things here. So this is the syntax of for loop, what we have. This we generally use when we know the fixed iteration. Now what this for loop is doing, we had something like this in for int I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, and we are starting this curly braces, and we have written system dot out uh, out dot println, so that it moves to next line, and this hello we have printed, right? So now what is this statement doing? This is just an initialization, condition, and increment. And this is just a print statement that is printing hello. And this is the syntax of a basic for loop. So you need not to get confused with this loop. Now what this loop is doing, it will start I equals to 0, right? If I equals to 0, then go inside this loop and print hello. Okay. Now the I has been incremented. So now I value became 1 and 1 is less than 5. So print hello again. When I equals to 1, we are printing hello again. Okay. Now what is happening? Now I is incremented by 1. What does this mean? First it will use, then it will increase, right? That's why now our I value become 2, where 2 is less than 5. Yes. So we'll print hello. Now our I value will get increased to 3. Yes, I equals to 3 and 3 is less than 5. Yes, then print hello again. I equals to 4. Now our I value is 4 and 4 is less than 5. So we'll print hello. Now our I value is 5. But is 5 less than 5? No. So we will not print hello again. So this will be our output. It has printed 5 times when we have started the loop from 0, but it is less than 5. But this same thing can be done if you use for loop as int I equals to 1, I less than equal to 5, I plus plus. Now if you will execute this code, what is the output? The output will be seen. I'll show you how. System.out.println, and in brackets we'll write hello and we'll close this. So if you carefully observe, here our I value is 1 and I is less than 1 is less than equal to 5, right? So it will increase, first use the I value and then it will increase. So it will print hello, and now our I value became 1. Sorry, 2, because it was 1 initially. Now we have used this I value and we have incremented it. Now at I equals to 2, what is there? I now becomes 2 and 2 is less than equal to 5, right? So we'll print hello again and we'll increment it. So I became 3. Now 3 is also less than equal to 5, right? So we'll print hello again. Now I became 4 because we have already used this 3 and will increment I by 4. So now our I value is 4. 4 is less than equal to 5, right? So we'll print hello. Now after printing this, we got our I as 5 and 5 is less than equal to 5. So we'll print hello. Now I became 6. 6 is less than equal to 5. No. So we will come out of this loop and this will be our output. 4 and this 5 times hello will get printed on the console. So if you start with I equals to 0 and I less than 5, and if you start I with 1 and I less than equal to 5, so both of these leads to same output because we have same incremental statements with them, and it is just the looping for loop. I think now you must be clear with for loop. We'll proceed with PPT. So just a second. Mhm. Now you can see my PPT. So now you are better able to understand this loop. So why do we need loops? Because in real programming, we need to print repeated data values. So for that, we cannot always use system.out.println. We need something that can do a repeated task in minimum time and minimum line of code. That's why we required loops. To process arrays, we'll study arrays in later videos and we'll get to know about this. For reading records, we'll read array values using for loop. We'll see that, or for each loop. If you want to check multiple conditions and if you want to do repetitive tasks automatically, then you always need loops. We'll see all of them in future videos with examples. Mainly, we have 4 type of loops: for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for each loop. For loop is generally used when you are aware of how many iterations or at till what point you want to run your loop. If you don't know till when you have to run your loop, then you use while loop. And if you want to execute your loop at least once, whether the condition is true or false, then you use do while loop. And for each is similar to for, but it is somewhere better than for in terms of if you want to read some data and all. We'll see that in this video only. So first of all, our for loop. It is used when the number of repetitions is known, like for printing value 1 to 10. You know you have to print this value. So what you can do is you can, this is not printing till 10, it will print till 5. But if you'll replace this 5 with 10, you'll be able to see that you will get output as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if you run it till 5, you will get this output. You can run this program. Here we have already seen the syntax: initialization, then condition, then update. We did I plus plus initialization, like we did I equals to 1, and condition like if I less than equal to 5, right? So initialization you have to first write into in front of that, right? And don't forget to use semicolon after between all these things. So I can print values till 10. We'll see in the editor how we can get these values. So if we run in this example only, if we write another for loop for and I, or you can take any variable j equals to 1, j less than equal to 10, j plus plus, and print this value. And if you will run this program now, you will see the output. First 5 hello will get printed. Later we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you see output from starting, first we got these 5 hello, which we have from this loop. Then we had this another loop for printing values 1 to 10. So it has printed from 1 to 10. This was all about the for loop. Now we'll see what our PPT says more about it. So next is while loop. While loop, when the number of repetitions is not fixed, you don't know till when you have to stop. So condition is checked first here. Okay. So what is the syntax of this? You will write the while keyword, then you'll write condition inside it, and then you'll start the curly braces, and you'll write whatever code you want to write, and you'll close that curly brace. For example, if you have int I equals to 1 and you have to go till your I becomes less, like till I less than equals to 5, you have to print the values, and here you are updating. You can think of it like in for loop, we are initializing, then we are giving some condition, and we are updating. So the same thing you have done with from for loop for printing 1 to 10, that can also be done using while loop. For example, if I take uh, first, let's print some statements so that you will be able to see in output that what we are exactly looking for while loop. Okay, don't forget to add semicolon, like int k equals to 0, or let's say 1, while k less than equals to 10. Till then you keep on printing k value and update it, right? So now run this program. First 5 hello will get printed because of the first hello loop. We have this hello for loop. This will print 1 to 10 values. Then again, this while loop will get printed. And then again from 1 to 10 values will get printed. We'll see the output. See. First these 5 hello got printed. Then from 1 to 10, then while loop got printed. Then using while loop, we have printed this 1 to 10. Here, I think we also have written do while loop. I'll tell you what does this do while loop mean when we'll see do while. Till now, you should be aware of that loop only. Now, I'll tell you what does exactly I mean with uh, syntax of this. We'll just proceed with C. So, what we had is int k equals to 1 while k less than equal to 10. Then we were doing system dot out dot println k, and then we were incrementing k, right? This was our for while loop. So what does exactly we are doing here? We have k value 1. So 1 less than equals to 10, yes. then we'll print the value of k, that is 1 will get printed. Here we are writing output, okay. And then we will increment the k. Now k value became, we will first use it, then increment it. So here we get the k value as 2. Now 2 less than equals to 10, right? So we'll print 2. Here our k value became 3, right? Now 3 is also less than equals to 10. So we'll print 3 here. Then k value became 4. 4 is also less than equal to 10. So we'll print 4. Then our k value became 5. 5 is also less than equals to 10. So we'll print 5. Then our k value became 6. 6 is also less than equals to 10. So we'll print 6. And then we'll increase our k value from 6 to 7. 7 is also less than equals to 10. So we'll print 7. Here our k value became 8. 8 is also less than equals to 10. So we'll print 8. And then our value of k became 9. 9 is also less than equals to 10. So we'll print 9, and our k value became 10. 10 is also less than equals to 10. So we'll print 10. Here k value became 11. But 11 is not is less than equals to 10. No. So we'll come out of this loop and this will be our output. So this is giving us the same output we already got through for loop. So you can see we can use the way we have used these loops, you can use them also in your code. Now we have do while loop. Now, if you, it is very similar to while, but if you want to run at least once, whether the condition is true or false, you are not checking it in starting only. Like in while loop, what you had the syntax, you had while and then you had condition. First condition was being checked, then only it was proceeding in this block. If the condition is false, we are not going inside the while loop. But if we want to at least run it once, then what we will do, we will just use do and we'll give some code part what we want to get executed. Then in while we'll give the condition, then our condition will check. So with this, what will happen, at least once our code will get executed. Now you can see the IDE. I was showing you the example before in loops. Here we also got the output with do while. We printed this do while, and what we took I as 1 and we printed value of m. What was that? It was 1. Then we incremented it to 2. Then condition is checked. Is 2 less than equal to 10? Yes, it's less than equal to 10. Then it will print this again 2. Then 3 will, it will become 3, 3. Then it will compare again, goes on. But what if we have m as 12? Then what will happen? It will print at least value 12, whether the condition is false or true. I wanted to show you the output for this. So we'll focus on the output which we had after do while. See, only 12 is being printed because the condition is false. So it will not print anything else. Now this example I'll show you in detail here. See, if you have int, say if you have int I equals to 12, right? And you want to print system dot out dot println, and you want to print value of I, okay, and then you want to increment I, and then you will check while I less than equals to 10. Okay, so this is your do while loop, right? So with this example, you can see that what we are doing here is, first we have value of I equals to 12. Okay, so we are just entering this loop and we'll print the value of I, that is 12 will be printed on the output. Now I value became 13, but 13 is less than equals to 10. No, so it will not execute these statements again and will move forward with the code. So this is the use of do while loop. Whether your condition is true or false, it will run or execute at least once. This is the benefit of do while loops, but you have to be very careful while using this do while loop, because sometimes it gives wrong result if you apply it at wrong place. You can see example here also, we have int I equals to 1. we will print first value I1, then we'll increment 2. Yes, 2 is less than equal to 5, then we'll print 2. Then I will become 3. 3 less than equals to 5. Yes, then we'll print 3. I value became 4. 4 less than equals to 5. Yes, we'll print 4. Then our I value became 5. 5 less than equals to 5. Then 5 will get printed. Now I value will come 6. Is 6 less than equals to 5? No. So it will stop here and this will be our output from 1 to 5. So what is the basic difference between while and do while? While will first check the condition and it may run 0 time. There is no surety whether this loop will give any output or not, because if the condition is false, it will not get executed. But do while check condition later and it will run at least once whether the condition is true or false. This is very important interview question. So please remember this. Now is our last loop, that is for each loop. For each loop, basically we use for either basically it's used for non-primitive data types like arrays and collection, and it is the one of the top most loop that we use for reading the values of non-primitive data types. For example, you know the syntax of for loop. What was the syntax of for loop? For loop, you were doing some initialization, then you were having some condition, then you were updating the value and writing some code and closing this braces. Like this was your for loop. But what happens in for each loop? When you were initializing, you were giving some data type. Here also you'll give some data type. And what variable you are using? For example, I you are using int I in array, you will give the data type. Which data type do you have? Like ARR is the array name. And then you will write the keyword is same, this for, and you will write code inside it. For example, if you have this array 10, 20, 30s, this is the syntax of array. You don't get confused with this. This the ARR is the type of array we are creating, and we are storing three values in this array 10, 20, and 30. And what we are doing is we are reading the value of this array is for int. For example, you can take int I in ARR and you are printing system.out.println. You are printing this I. What it will give you? It will print all the values you have in array, that is 10, 20, 30, because you are using this is called for each loop. It will get executed for int first place. It will get executed. Is this present in array? Yes. Then print the value 10. Then it will get I will get from 10 to, it will go to 20 and will print 20. Then again I'll move to 30 and it will print 30, and here it will reach the end of the array and it will come out of this loop. So this is very important loop when we go for traversing an array. Now two more things about array. Infinite loop. First is infinite loop. Infinite name itself suggests that never stops. Like it keeps on running. That is infinite loop. And this is very dangerous if it is not handled properly, because it will consume our memory a lot. So example of infinite loop is while the condition is true, you need to print hello. And you have not specified with the how many iterations, like if I less than equals to 5, so it will print till 5. But here you are giving true. So this statement will always be true until unless you will externally stop this loop in the terminal pressing Control C or Control Z in some. It will repeatedly run, and it will be very dangerous if you do not handle it properly. And nested loop is something a loop inside the loop. This is clear by the name nested. For example, you have a for loop inside another for loop. Here you have, this is basically used when you have 2D arrays, or we say matrices or patterns or advanced problems. When you have a loop inside another loop, I can show you the example of nested loop as well as infinite loop both. Let me show you. Give me a minute. Yeah, you can see my IDE now. Let's comment out the above code so that you don't get confused with it. Now we'll see infinite loop. Infinite loop is while true, it will infinite loop, it will print. So see, when I will run this program, it will keep on running. It will keep on printing infinite loop until I will externally press Control C. For now, it's C. Again, so many times it has already printed. I will just go and click on Control C to stop this. Otherwise, see how many times in just a second it has printed infinite loop. So this can be very dangerous. So if you are trying it on your system, then press Control C in your terminals to stop it. Okay. I'll just comment out this. I'll show you the nested loop for mhm, nested loop is like we are creating a for loop inside another for loop for int I equals to 1, I less than equals to 5, I plus plus. Then we will have one statement, let's say system dot out dot println outer loop. Then we'll have from j1 to 3 and we'll say inner loop, right? With the value of j. Now I'll run this program. And what does this mean by I have written outer loop? This will first print this, then it will print the value of I. So don't be confused with this line. See what it has done is the output it has given is first it will go to this line system.out.println when it has I value 1. So it will print that. With that I value 1, it will go inside this for loop and it will print for j value 1, 2, 3 inner loop. So for 1, 2, 3 inner loop, it has printed. Then again, it will go to outer loop for value 2, and then it will print for 2 value 1, 2, 3 inner loop. I'll show you this till 5 it has printed, right? I think I'll be better able to understand if I go to this. For example, you have a for loop for int I equals to 1, I less than, let's say 2 we are taking, less than equals to 2, I plus plus, and here we have I plus plus. This is the opening curly braces. Then we have system dot out dot println, and we are printing outer. And then what we have is we are printing value of I. Okay. And inside this we are creating another for loop for int j equals to 1, j less than equals to 3, and j plus plus, right? And here what we are doing, we are printing inner, and then what we are printing is value of j. So this first for loop is closed and the outer for loop is closed. Now if you observe this loop carefully, when the value of I is 1, and obviously we'll go inside this loop, and what we will print here, let's say we print the output, our output will be outer and the value of I will be 1. And now with I value 1, we are entering another for loop which says j is 1. So we'll go inside this loop, and what we will print, will print inner 1. Now we will get j value as 2, and 2 is less than equals to 3. So we'll print inner 2. Now the j value becomes 3, 3 less than equals to 3. So here we'll get output inner 3. Now j value became 4. Is 4 less than equals to 3? No. So we'll come out of this outer for loop. Sorry, inner for loop will come out of this loop, and then again now our I value became 2. Is 2 less than equals to 2? Right. So we'll print outer 2. Now for I value 2, we enter this inner loop again. So for j equals to 1, when I equals to 2, we have inner 1. Then j value became 2. Yes, 2 is less than equals to 3. It will print inner 2. Now for j value 3, 3 is less than 3. It will print inner 3. Now j value became 4, but 4 is not less than equals to 3. So we'll come out of this inner loop, and now our I value became 3. Is 3 less than equals to 2? No. So we will come out of both these loop, and this will be our output. So this is what we have seen is nested loop. So this was all about the nested loop. we had. So we'll proceed with next topic now. Break that is used in loop. There is two important things. One is break and one is continue. Mark them as very, very important as part of interview or exams. So first we'll see break in loop. For example, if you want to stop your loop immediately, then what you will use? Then you will use the break statement. For example, for a for loop that is starting with I value 1 and less than equals to 10, it's going and it's updating one by one. What you have to do whenever you will reach the value 5, when I value becomes 5, just come out of this loop. And the output, what will be the output? 1, 2, 3, 4. Because when I value became 5, it didn't go on printing the value and came out of the loop. This you will be better able to understand in IDE. I'll show you. See, I'll just comment out of all this code and for int I equals to 1, I less than equals to 10, I plus plus, we are writing just if statement. If I equals to 5. Now don't get confused with which you should use. Equals to 5 you should use or double equals. I already told you equal is what and double equal is what. Go to my previous videos and check them. When I equals to 5, then break this loop. Otherwise, for other values, what you are doing, you are printing system dot out dot println and you are printing the value of I. So let's run this program. See this code part. What we are doing here is, and you'll see the output. It will print till 4, but as soon as it will reach 5, it will come out of this. Immediately it came out. What if you write 8 here? So it will print till 7, and whenever it will reach value 8, the loop will it will come out of this for loop and it will stop executing that loop. See, here it is printed till 7. Okay. So this break statement is really very important. Don't get confused with break and continue. I'll tell you continue and break difference also. Now continue. Continue is to skip one iteration. If you want to skip, for example, in I equals to 5, we were breaking the loop here. But what if we only want that 5 value should not be printed, but all other values should get printed, whatever we have? In that case, you write continue statement that if you will encounter this particular value, you won't print that value and you'll execute the code as it is. Let's see this in that same example in VS Code only. What does I mean with continue and break difference? So if you will write this continue instead of break, what will happen? You will see it will skip printing the 8, but it will print value from 1 to 7, then 9, 10. But it will not print 8 because we are skipping this one iteration here. Focus on the code here. You have 7, then 9, 10, and from value 1 to 7, it will print smoothly. Then it will skip 8 because we have given here if I equals to 8, then you have to continue. Otherwise, you have to print this value, right? So I think now it's all clear about break and continue statements also. Now, what are the common mistakes that students do? First is forgetting to update. For example, if you are using this while loop, you forget to update the value of I plus plus. Sometimes people get confused with this. So this creates infinite loop and this is very bad practice and it will lead you to in some problems while executing or writing your code. Sometimes using wrong conditions, like if you are writing greater than equals to, I greater than equals to, there is no symbol existing. Like if you want to, for greater than equal to, this symbol is correct, I mean. But what if you want to check condition less than equals to? You should use this symbol. So don't get confused with symbol and don't get confused with break and continue. Break is to stop the loop and continue is to skip one iteration. Okay. So this was all about this video. If you like this video, please do like, share, subscribe my channel. Thanks. Bye.